People who've had sex with celebrities. How was it? I know a girl that hooks up with Hannibal Buress every time he comes to Milwaukee. Edit. They met on Bumble and she said he's very sweet guy. Girl. Sorry honey, I can't see you this time. What are you gonna do without me tonight? Him. Whack. Back in the 00s. A mate of mine used to fuck Shaggy every time he would come to Melbourne. I think he probably made 2 to 3 trips down here. We'd all make a big deal about her disappearing for a few days to shag Shaggy. She had nothing but nice things to say about him. She knew she was nothing but a bit of side poon when he was in town. I'm picturing that they were both buck naked banging on the bathroom floor. Wasn't him. But I saw him banging on the sofa. Knew someone who slept with Leonardo DiCaprio. Apparently he kept his headphones on the entire time. Doggy style. This rumor is everywhere. I want to know what he's listening to. He's learning his scripts. Did it happen in a pool? My friend fucked the dude from the WoW Vine with the girl vaping. This is the only one on the thread I actually care about. My grandmother dated Jimmy Carter. Not sure how physical things got, but I've read a few of the letters he wrote. I only post this because I can't think of any other reason I would get to bring this up. I knew a girl who was an escort. She had sex with Derek Jeter. Afterwards he called a limo to take her home. In the limo was a gift. It was a baseball signed by Derek Jeter. He did this with all of them. There are plenty of dames in New York with Yankees gift baskets courtesy of this legend. Damn. Man straight up fucked all of New York. Jenna Jameson kissed me on the mouth at a strip club in Ohio. That's all I got. That's all I got. Count yourself lucky. I remember Vanilla Ice's answer to the question what was it like to sleep with Madonna. He said it's not like she had a golden pussy. That has stuck with me. Post Malone asked my ex-girlfriend if she would be interested in going home with him under the condition that she would have to eat his ass. If there is one person's ass I would not want to eat, he would probably be it. Plus, his beehole probably has some stupid tattoo on it. Like So Hungry or some shit. X fucked Twiggy Ramirez of Marilyn Manson around 2000 or so after a show. Apparently it was alright. His dick was huge. But it was over quick and then he kicked her to the curb right after to do coke or something. And yes, she was underage. Ha. I came here to say this. Except it was a friend, not an ex. And it was in 1996. We were both 15 at the time. I hooked up with Randy Newman's son. He said I had a nice vagina. I guess that's a win. I guess you could say that. He had a friend in you. Knew a girl who fucked Zac Efron. Had to sign an NDA. Told me he wasn't all that great in bed. I.e. the fantasy was better than the reality. Still fanboyed over him hard apparently. So much about that NDA. No dick agreement. My mom had sex with David Lee Roth. She said he smelled like sour milk and put his dirty hat on her head. Put his dirty hat on her head sounds like a euphemism. I fucked a chick who was in a Target catalog. It was hot. Cutting a hole in the Target catalog doesn't count. A woman I worked with had a one-night stand with Captain Obvious from Hotels.com, whom she met at a New York jazz club. She pretended that she didn't recognize him in order to prevent being seen as a gold digger. She was hoping to get into a short-term relationship with him and hopefully he would give her some money and buy her a Lexus, which she really wanted. Later she found out that he wasn't Captain Obvious. Just looked very much like him. Commercials really don't pay that much unless you're already a big-name celebrity. I used a gender-neutral bathroom with James Franco. We made eye contact and smiled at each other when we were washing our hands. A girl I went to high school with dated Jason Acua, aka Wee Man, shortly before Jackass 3 came out. He visited her family in WI around Thanksgiving time. But he hated WI so much that he paid her best friend to drive him to the airport in the middle of the night. I guess when he visited he was WI man. On a trip to Vegas. One of my friends FD Michael Jordan. She said it was painful and fairly fast. She won't ever stop talking about it. If I just saw Michael Jordan in person I'd probably would never stop talking about it. I met him when I was 14. I'm 32 now. Still haven't stopped talking about it. My nana was in a serious relationship with Nash of Crosby, Stills and Nash. Is she Joni Mitchell? You know. Now that you mention it. My wife's grandmother dated Ted Bundy. Said he was a wonderful and charming guy. I mean, by all accounts he was. That's what made him so famous. He personified the next door neighbor could be a crazy person idea because he was just so. Not a typical serial killer in the way most people think. A friend of mine had sex with Paul Wesley. She said it was pretty good. He also took her on a short getaway trip. Seemed like a very nice guy. Ended up getting her a gift candle that was the scent of his cologne so she can remember him. Damn, that scented candle is smooth. There is only one ex that I associate with a cologne and I wouldn't say no to that scented candle. The girl in the video that corporate gave us. Daryl banged her. A friend told me Victoria Justice gave lap dances to some of his friends at a party the year she signed on for Victorious. Was it Dan Get in the Van Schneider? Slept with the lady that used to do the morning news in my city. This was at least 15 years ago. She is a blanket stealer and puts her cold feet right between your legs when she wants them warmed up. Now everyone knows Cassie. This is the cutest one by far. This is the only one so far. Girl I know slept with G-Eazy in 2015 before he was really gave her chlamydia. LMAO. I feel like chlamydia is his middle name. I'm starting to figure out people who bang celebrities aren't on Reddit. I saw Danny DeVito cursing out a cyclist who nearly wiped him out getting out of a private cab once in San Fran. Was almost as good as sex. It's too bad he didn't start blasting. Well, if this thread has taught me something, it's that celebrities are riddled with STDs. Anyone who is going to fuck randos left and right is heavily statistically likely to be a collection of STDs. Friend of mine met Tiger Woods while bartending a golf charity tournament he was attending. He took her back to his hotel room and tossed her salad and had unprotected sex. This was several years before he crashed into a mailbox and divorced his wife. I know a married woman who has a child that looks just like Tiger Woods. Not unusual except for the fact her and her husband are white. The kid isn't. And she was one of his booty calls. Not me. But a girl I knew slept with some F-list reality TV douchebag. He quoted himself off the show as a shitook line and then again after he came. She described the experience as embarrassing. But not sure for who. I'm guessing it was Puck from the Real World SF. Slept with Western Kentucky's mascot after a drunken day at Churchill Downs. She refused to keep the head on. Still 10/10ths experience. Yes. The big red blob thing. Not everybody gets to fuck Red Grimace. Refused to keep the head on, but was she wearing the rest and there was like a flap of something? A friend of mine fucked the Dell guy of dude. You're getting a Dell fame when we were in college. If you know who the Dell guy is. Congratulations on being old like me and my friend. She got the D. What you don't realize is the amount of NDAs floating around out there, lol. I got it on with a star of a popular 80s sitcom. She rocked my world. To protect her anonymity, I will refer to her only as B. Arthur. I slept with a well-known now deceased rapper when he came to Toronto a couple of times. And I stayed at his place in California for a few days as well. The sex was good, but it wasn't any better than a non-celeb. He wasn't selfish in bed at all and it felt natural cause we got along. He was actually really down to earth and fun to hang out with. Mac Miller will be missed. My grandma kissed Tom Petty. My mother had a one-night stand with Conan back in early 2000s. They met at a bar somewhere in Texas and he bought them a hotel room. O'Brien. Or the Barbarian. I shook hands with Penn and Teller, then went back to my hotel room and fucked my wife. A friend met Matthew McConaughey in a club in Miami. She went home with him. Said it was met. Well. That's disappointing. It was just alright. Sorry, I'll see myself out. My sister drunkenly kissed Keanu Reeves on the back of the neck. She will never live it down, and Keanu was cool when I met him. I was smoking weed with the bass player from Belphegor after a show, and when my girlfriend called he politely asked if she would suck his dick. Upon learning it wouldn't happen, he graciously accepted the no and we continued talking about metal. Barely relevant, but I think the story is funny. Can I ask how one would graciously ask if they can get their dick sucked? Like, did he say please? Hey, not to put you guys out. But would your girlfriend mind sucking my dick? I totally understand if either of you aren't comfortable with it. But it's just that no one is sucking my dick right now. How'd this dick get in my mouth? A friend slept with the lead singer of City and Colour when they were touring university campuses in the early 2000s. She bragged about it to anyone who would listen. That ended a few weeks later when she realized he gave her chlamydia and genital warts. Gave her the OL sleeping sickness. I slept with a very famous and still popular rapper from Memphis. The sex was surprisingly good. He was very attentive and affectionate. I thought he'd be arrogant. But he was cool and made sure I enjoyed myself too. You say no to ratchet pussy, Juicy J can't. I fucked the mascot for Hamburger Helper. Same. That asshole gave me the clap. You really gotta hand it to him. I used to know a dude who claims to have met Amanda Bynes in the mental hospital/rehab. They dated for a while. He said she unstable and clingy and honestly terrifying to be with. I wish I could remember some of his stories. That's so sad. She always seemed so sweet and down to earth in real life. When the news broke of her having such bad mental health issues, my heart broke for her. I hope she's doing better now. Sexual abuse at the hands of Hollywood pedophiles will do that to a young, bright, enthusiastic girl. Fuck Dan Schneider.